10 underwater discoveries that cannot be explained. The Baltic Sea Anomaly. Dubbed the Baltic Sea Anomaly after it was discovered under 300 feet of water in 2011, the giant anomaly still baffles the minds of many, and there are still no clear answers as to what it is to this day. Of course, many have speculated, but still, speculation isn't a definite answer, and many have been disturbed by what was uncovered beneath the wavy surface of the Baltic Sea. It has been reported that right above the exact location of this so-called anomaly, all satellites and electrical equipment fail, cell phones as well. And to add to the mystery, it is oddly shaped and resembles something out of a Star Wars film. Many have believed it to be proof of extraterrestrial life, but nothing has been etched in stone as of yet. Great Blue Hole, Belize. The Great Blue Hole is the world's largest sinkhole, measuring an incredible 984 feet across and roughly 410 feet deep. Back in 1971, underwater explorer Jacques Cousteau first discovered this phenomenon and put it on the map. Several decades later, Cousteau's grandson Fabien and a few other researchers formed a team and embarked on an odyssey into the hole. The hole was a giant marine sinkhole, think Lethal Vortex in a futuristic movie off the coast of Belize. Inside this ancient formation, not a single molecule of oxygen can be found. Hydrogen sulfate is found as a dense layer in the hole, only getting thicker the deeper you go. Not one species of sea life would dare to pass through the layer, and anything that fell into the hole would decompose and remain a shrunken husk for all eternity. The team also came across the bodies of 2 divers who had fallen into the blue hole. Otlit Yam Ruins, Israel. Considered a submerged Neolithic village under about 8 to 12 meters of ocean water off the coast of Israel, Otlit Yam contains some incredible and mysterious findings. It was discovered back in 1984. A few homes, artifacts and even some unexplained items were found at the location. Among the unexplained are a ritual site which had a bunch of stones forming a ring around a spring. And of course the item pictured here, which the discoverers of the site figured to be a well, but later findings concluded that it was a mass grave, as several human remains were found in the pit. Not much else is known about the mysterious Otlit Yam. Underwater Stonehenge. You might be familiar with the ancient group of standing stones on Salisbury Plain in England, popularly referred to as the Stonehenge. But did you know that this fancy century-old stone deco had it to win right under the sea? Here is the underwater Stonehenge found in a lake in Switzerland. Marine archaeologists claim that the intricate stone arrangement was not made by nature but instead by man. The monument had hypothetically been submerged in the lake thanks to the global warming or some significant way of the Earth's evolution. While that seemed like a good enough explanation, there remain some bits to be concerned about. The stones are not visible from above, and researchers who had initially dated the arrangement to no more than 3,000 years back were in for a surprise. How wrong they had been. 17,700 cubic feet phenomena was poked at some more, and some fascinating facts were discovered. Yonaguni Complex. The Yonaguni Complex has been one of Japan's greatest aquatic mysteries. The complex, or monument as it's also called, is a submerged rock formation off the coast of Yonaguni, an inhabited island of Japan. The complex included extremely detailed architecture with several odd rock formations, and it was discovered in 1995 by an underwater diver, Kiichiro Aratake, a marine geologist at the University of the Ryukyu in Japan. Each time he returned to the site to a little digging around, swimming around, he was more convinced than ever. He had in front of him the remains of a 5,000-year-old city. He was convinced that the formation of 5 sandstones and mudstones could be Japan's very own Atlantis. A professor from Boston University, Robert Scott, was certain that the monument was not human-made, but all natural. Bimini Road. Located deep beneath the waters of the Bahamas, divers can find what is left of what has come to be known as Bimini Road. It can be considered a road or rock formation that drags on considerably beneath the surface. What's interesting about this find is that when it was first located, divers were baffled at what it could have once been. In fact, still today, the real story behind the rock formation is unknown and remains a mystery. Just the way we like it, mysterious and unexplained. Nothing like a bit of intrigue to get flocks and flocks of tourists in deep-sea water gear and wading toward this ancient road at the bottom of the sea. Ancient city of Pavlopetri. This was in fact a massive discovery made back in 1967. The underwater town of Pavlopetri was thought of as a port town and trading center since many types of pottery, a highly traded item back in ancient Greece, were found in the underwater ruins of the city. The ancient city is approximately 100,000 square meters in size and is considered to be one of the oldest ancient cities to be discovered underwater. It is amazing how preserved it looks after all this time under the tumultuous seas. But it is believed that the depth of its location is what has kept it so intact for all this time. Bermuda Triangle. And perhaps one of the greatest mysteries of the open seas lies in the depths of the Pacific Ocean. Situated between the coast of Florida, the island of Bermuda and just northwest of Puerto Rico, the Bermuda Triangle has hosted some of the world's most mysterious of occurrences, or has it? For years, people around the globe have suspected the location to be the halfway point between this world and another. Many have also speculated that the location is a hotbed of extraterrestrial activity. But despite such reports, most of the world now believes that the site and the stories reported are nothing but complete fabrication. And still, there are a number of believable accounts circling out there, accounts that shouldn't be true, but when you read them, the realms of possibility kind of have a way of opening up. Hedonistic Roman symbols. Known as the Baiae Resort near Naples, the site shows divers the wonders that were ancient Rome. The designs strewn across the ancient floor are rather luminescent in the Mediterranean Sea under the light of day. In its day, which was approximately year 1 AD, it was known to be the resting place and hangout of the high-class portion of society of the time. It was located on the shores of Naples back then, but it now rests in ruins under the sea. When discovered, scientists were definitely baffled, but it didn't take them long to deduce what the symbols meant and what era they were from, which were simple designs on a bathhouse floor. The Devil's Sea. The Devil's Sea has often been tied to paranormal activity and an undeniably significant number of disappearances. In 1955, a Japanese ship suddenly lost radio contact and was nowhere to be found. A few days later, the ship was actually found safe and sound. Other ships, however, have not been so lucky. Several other ships were recorded to have just disappeared out of thin air on calm waters with perfect weather. No explanation, no rediscoveries, nothing.